Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. This is Vishal and let's start this week's weekly sectoral analysis. Now before I start the video, generally people are expecting that markets when they are correcting very in a manner when the overall market is very volatile and probably in couple of days you lose almost from 18,100 to 17,500, a crack of almost 500 to 600 points in Nifty. Possibly all the stocks are coming down, all the sectors are coming down. This is what generally public expects. But when I was just going through the entire sectors, because generally before making this weekly sectoral analysis video, what I do is I generally go through the sectors and its candidates, means the stocks. And then when I do the deep down analysis, I generally write each and every point in detail in the diary and then I make the video. So what data I have found, the analysis which I'm going to share with you is very different than possibly what you are expecting, because still in this sort of correction in last 2 days, what has happened in Bank Nifty especially and in Nifty, still there are few sectors which are trying to outperform. So please watch the video till the last if you want to take full advantage of this particular education video. All right. So let's start today's weekly sectoral analysis. Now, first, as usual, I'll be starting with the Nifty futures. You can see that the trend is absolutely flat as the prices are trading between both of the dual moving averages. Now, this was the prior support, which was at 17,800 and 17,820. And I had clearly told once you will see prices closing below this in a daily chart, you will be able to see a deep crack in the Nifty futures, and we can see that Nifty futures from 17,800 they have corrected almost till 17,576.80. That is the yesterday's low. Now what has happened is this is the recent support, 1.618 Fibonacci extension, and on the upside resistance is at 17,800. So basically I would just like to share with you and highlight the you can say the entire range. The range is between 17,800 to 17,565. And you can see a wick over here. Can you see this? This entire wick, what does it show? What does it tell you? It tells you that there is some sort of buying coming up at 17,555, 65. And in case if there is a pullback good enough that it can shoot up at least couple of 100 points to 250 points. If that happens, we will face immediate resistance near 17,800 levels. If the pullback wants to be extremely big, then the prices will need to close above 17,800. Now, these are the levels which I've shared with you. Apart from the levels, where markets are extremely volatile, because if I just add this particular indicator, which is called ATR, if you see the average movement in Nifty futures used to be way back possibly in December was 161 points daily, which has now gone up till more than 200 points. So this clearly shows that the volatility is rising, especially in the last 2 days. When this sort of volatility comes, and we have, I think, budget event coming on 1st February, and there are few more events on that same particular day. So when there are too many important events coming up, important events, not normal events, then what happens is it can happen that the levels are disrespected by the market. So what I'm trying to say is it can happen that more volatility is probable. What is the meaning of volatility? Generally, when people say market is going to be volatile or volatility is going to spike, people think markets will come down. No, volatility is of 2 to 3 different types. What I am trying to say right now is a movement which is up and down. The trend stays down, but in between that trend, prices keep doing up and down. And if you're a short-term trader, you have to be extremely careful. Either do not trade, or if you trade, be sure that you minimum keep your position sizing 50% down. Simple as that. All right. Let's go to the Bank Nifty futures. And yes, if we close below this, because I'll be really surprised if this happens, this will mean that the selling pressure is extremely high. If we close below 17,550 or 17,500 to be precise, then we'll need one more close below that low and we'll see even lower levels coming. Okay. So let's go to the Bank Nifty futures. In Bank Nifty futures, I can say one thing for sure, that the volatility in Bank Nifty futures, especially in the last 2 days, has been extremely high in comparison to the Nifty futures, and special thanks to the PSU Banks for that, for the same. Now, what you can see in the daily chart is we have been able to close below this particular support, which is the 161 point Fibonacci extension. And the next support in Bank Nifty futures seems to be around 39,973, means round figure you can say 40,000. And somewhere over here it is 40,146. So I can tell that from 40,150 to 40,000 levels, this 150 points band is a decent support for Bank Nifty futures. And on the upside, this will be the first resistance coming up, which will be somewhere around at 41,145. And on the upside, it could be 41,500 to 41,600. All right, these are the levels which I'm sharing with you. Now, a lot of volatility is probable. The reason for that is you can see that the Bank Nifty future is close to, just going under the RSI 30 level. If that happens, and if we hit a support, then a sharp bounce back is possible. We need to understand that. And at this particular juncture, if you have not been able to short Bank Nifty futures, if you have not been able to sell even Nifty futures, there is no point going short at such a high volatility at such a level, because your risk reward will be skewed. What I'm trying to say is, आपके स्टॉप लॉसेस बहुत ज्यादा बड़े हो जाएंगे और आपके टारगेट्स छोटे हो जाएंगे. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि नीचे जाने की जगह नहीं है. In a volatile market, when a budget event is coming up, plus something negative is happening regarding Adani shares, anything can happen in the market, anything, right? But there is something which is called risk reward, and just in a fear, or just having a feeling of FOMO that everyone has shorted and I could not. If that thing comes to your mind, and if you initiate a short, and if it goes other way around, if it goes wrong, then you can lose huge amount of money. Okay, so always be careful about that. Now, within the banking pack, I would say that PSU banks and vis-a-vis private banks, PSU banks are the one, they are responsible for this particular crash in the market. Obviously, yes, other sectors also came down, because you can see all other sectors are in green also. But why PSU banks? If you remember, if you have been following me on my YouTube channel, in many of the educational videos, I have been consistently saying, please avoid PSU banks strictly for any positional trades. Stick to only short-term trades. Trade करिए, पैसा कमा के बाहर निकलिए. 1 week, 2 week max. No medium-term trading over here on the long side. Even if the shares are going up, forget it. I had clearly mentioned this, and this is the reason you can see prices have come down, and now we have hit a support over here. If we close below this particular support band, which is a decent, strong support band in PSU banks, if we close below this, then maybe lower levels are possible. And at the same point of time, the king of PSU banks, which is really SBI, SBI is also at a support level, you can say. SBI is also at a support level, and it has also hit a 161.80% Fibonacci extension. And if you check properly, SBI is now trading around decent supports. Now, will this be cracked? Will this, result in a bounce back? I frankly do not know, because whether supports will hold on or not, that is a very different topic. It will be like I'm trying to predict in the market, and I'm not a person who predicts. I react to price movements. All right. So it is at a support. Now, what happens from here, I think we'll need to wait and watch and understand. But in PSU banks, I can say, if this ongoing correction continues on the downside, then one stock which should go much lower would be Bank of Baroda. The reason is it has gone up that much. Price उतना गया भी तो उतना ऊपर है ना. Many people say that Adani Enterprises stocks are coming down due to Heidenberg report and all that. Frankly, I do not understand fundamental analysis, but a simple logic hai. How much the stock has gone up in the last 2 or 2.5 years? It has been in multiples, right? Any stock which goes up too much, too fast, it will crash even in the similar fashion. It is as simple as that. It is not surprising. So similarly, what my analysis, what my experience tells me, that if this correction continues, then in comparison to Canara Bank or Bank of Baroda and SBI, then possibly Bank of Baroda is the stock which should actually correct more in comparison to the other stocks. When I talk about private banks, yes, private banks have also hit a very strong support. I can completely agree. You can see it is in a price band of 20,527 to possibly the level of 20,324. It's possibly a couple of 100 points band. It is at a support band. The trend is down in the daily chart. The trend is flat in the weekly chart. And again, what happens from here is a mystery. The reason for that is why I'm saying this is a budget event is coming up and anything can happen. Something negatives comes about the bank, they will crack the support, they will come down. Something positive comes, it will bounce back. So frankly, I don't want to predict anything. But one thing I can say, out of the entire lot of the private banks, I think the weakest bank till now, all right, is Kotak Mahindra Bank. And generally, according to my experience, what I have seen is whenever markets move up or hit a bottom and move up, generally the stocks which are leaders, which have fallen less, are the ones which will pull that particular sector, all the index higher. So according to me, Kotak is the weakest and HDFC Bank, this is one stock, HDFC Bank, and second one is especially Axis Bank is the strongest. बट स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट का मतलब प्लीज ये मत समझना कि इस प्राइस पे मैं बाय करने के लिए बोल रहा हूं. आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग अ व्यू. When markets are going up and down in a volatile fashion, even the strongest of stocks, even the weakest of stocks, all of them can, go down the drain. बोलते हैं ना गेहूं के साथ गुण भी पीसा जाता है. So this is even possible here. But if at all markets bottom out, something good happens in the budget or whatever happens, and if this was just a panic selling, if everything starts moving up, then focus on these two stocks first rather than focusing on some other private banking stocks. Metals. Now, metals, I think I don't need to tell much. You can see, forget this one day fall. If you just take out this one day fall, if you see the overall structure of metal pack, it's looking pretty strong. Till the time, again, I will use the word till the time this particular support band is not broken. Once this is broken, then yes, it will lead to some problems and a small correction is probable. And if you remember, I had shared some volatility, short-term volatility was possible in JSW Steel, and this is what has happened. Maybe some more consolidation is needed, and after that, generally, if the support band which I shared with you for the metal pack, if it is not broken, then slowly and steadily, when the entire sentiment of the market improves, even metal pack can start going up. But please, it's a request to all of you, do not go on my words. If you are following any trading setup, any trading system, hold your stocks only with stop losses. If your stop is hit, please get out of the market. Simple as that. When your stops are hit, never think twice. Is it just a temporary dip? Is it just that the other people want to throw out retailers out? ये सब मैं नहीं सोचता. Stop trigger, मैं बाहर. Simple. ठीक है. Auto pack. Now, auto pack has, I think, surprised me a lot because this was one of the sectors which was performing really badly, especially over here in consolidation. It was looking like it's a short. Again, it was bouncing from the support. So, दोनों बाजू ऊपर नीचे हो रहा था, and suddenly it has been able to spike up. So what I can sense from this is, if I just have a look at the monthly time frame chart, even the monthly time frame chart looks pretty okay. The weekly chart looks okay. It's not great, but it's looking okay. And matter of fact is that it has been able to stay at a higher level. All other sectors cracked down, right? So it is surely a outperformer. Plus, it was able to close 1% up on the day when Nifty cracked 200 points, more than a percent, right? So if I just go through the list of stocks, Maruti, right? I think you can start focusing on this particular stock as a positional buy only when your system permits it. It's looking decent, not great, but yes, if it starts going higher, then you can use your own proprietary trading systems to possibly trade in the stock. Hero Moto is another stock which can even become an outperformer, but problem is that it is within a range. You can see the range is getting smaller and smaller day by day. It will need a big breakout on the upside, and the breakout needs to sustain, not like the last time what happened here, that it gave a breakout and it again came down. All right, sustenance is necessary basically. Bajaj Auto. Bajaj Auto has again surprised everyone. If someone has missed, because this is a real surprise for everyone. The breakout came at 3687. Suddenly it gave a spike. In case if you have missed the trade, please do not have the feeling of FOMO and try to buy the higher price. What you can do is you can wait patiently, let the stock dip, and possibly use that dip as a swing trade on the upside, shorter term trade. Tata Motors also, if you can check, it has been able to give a decent breakout. Any possible dip, if it is able to sustain, because a rally, if it wants to rally on the upside, it will first need to close above this recent high. If that doesn't happen, then I don't think so that Tata Motors will, it will be able to trade on the higher levels. The reason for that is it has a very big wick on the upside. So this suggests that there is some sort of selling pressure visible from the range of 454, 453 to possibly 447. So we will need a short-term dip which comes down, and from here, if the stock picks up and then it goes higher, you can use it as a swing trade. And if you're a positional trader, it will need to stay above this level. As simple as that. Ashok Leland, I think a close above this level, especially 152, 153, and especially this 154 levels will result into a decent breakout on the upside. So I can say AutoPack, once again, it's trying to possibly come out of a consolidation zone after a very, very long time. So please keep a watch on AutoPack. IT. Now, IT pack is going to be tested very, very much in this particular correction. Why? The reason is, if you remember somewhere over here, it gave a pullback failed. Then it gave a larger pullback, it failed. But in this entire process, what has happened is, in this entire process, it has been able to make a higher high. This was the previous high. This is the higher high, right? This is the first low. And then we have the second low, which is the higher low. So now what we need is a close above this particular high. If this happens, we'll be able to rally higher. But you cannot wait for any stock to close above its recent high. Like, say, for example, I have three favorite stocks as of now. One is Infosys. All right, Infosys, I think it will need to close above this 1600 levels. Once this happens, then we'll be able to go higher. Second one is possibly TCS. TCS has been able to give a decent breakout. Let's hope that it doesn't come down and break its support levels. Again, saying, just because I am sharing the stock, please do not buy it blindly. Please put in your own analysis, buy it with a stop loss with a proper position sizing. And these views are for few weeks to few months. These are not shorter term trades. These are cash market positional view, cash market positional trades. Okay. So once these stocks starts going higher, look at upside targets and at least book partial profits, which is very, very important. The reason for that is we have some sort of resistance visible at higher levels. So generally when the prices are trading within the range where, in case the IT pack rallies and we hit the resistance, you should be booking partial profits. And the last stock which I would like to share with all of you is obviously the HCL Tech. Even HCL Tech has been able to rally nicely. It will possibly consolidate for a few days, and then if it closes above this recent high, then you will be able to see higher levels. Finance pack, I can say that the trend is flat in the medium term time frame. In the short term time frame, the trend is down, and it is within a range of, you can see the coordinates are 18,620 to 18,545. This is a resistance band, okay, and even this recent low, there's a gap. So this is a resistance band from this point to this point, and on the downside we are trading at a decent support level, which is from 17,946 to 17 906. If we close below this, you will be able to see lower levels. Okay. Real estate pack. Real estate pack, if you remember, I had been clearly sharing my views that real estate was looking pretty much weak and use all the bounce backs which are happening in the real estate pack to go for swing short trades. I think my pick was DLF and second one was Godrej Properties. So you can see both of the views have worked nicely. Both of those stocks have cracked pretty nicely. Now, what I can say is these stocks are trading near important supports. You can see that DLF is trading at 127.20% extension. That has made a high wave candle. And the second one was Godrej Properties. No doubt that the trend is down, but they are completely near supports. So a short-term pullback may not be ruled out, but a close below the recent low, a proper red candle close below the recent low will result into lower levels. Okay, the trend continues to be on the downside. I'm not talking about any reversals over here. Pharma pack, I would not like to say anything. I'll just concentrate on one stock, which is Sun Pharma, which is looking pretty solid. And as far as the supports are holding, you can see this particular support, which has been holding pretty strong. As far as this particular support band is holding from 992 to 964, I think prices will slowly and steadily, they will consolidate and slowly and steadily they will move higher. FMCG pack. FMCG pack, what I can say is it is showing its resilience rather than coming down. What is happening is it is showing its resilience and it's trying to make a higher low. It's trying to make. It has not been able to do it successfully, but it's surely trying to make one. And according to me, if you concentrate on ITC, ITC has bounced back from a pretty decent support band. So you can use this particular support band for a positive view. And if you check properly, a decent positional trade is probable in ITC. So you can use any close above this particular level of 347, 348 without any wick. There is a wick over here, so I would neglect this candle, but any proper candle without any wicks, it will result probably into a positional buy. Please use your own analysis and your own stop losses. Hindustan Unilever, again, it is already in an uptrend in the daily chart, but it is currently consolidating. So as far as this particular low is not broken, it is fine. But if this breaks, you'll be able to see some sort of profit booking. It may not be very, very fast, but slow and steady down move would be possible. And as far as these lows are holding on, it might consolidate sideways. And if it closes above this, you'll be able to see a higher level breakout on the upside in Hindustan Unilever. Consumption pack, if you remember, I think in my previous video also I had clearly mentioned use any bounce backs in the consumption pack to use it as a swing trade and short side trades on the downside, and I think it has worked nicely. If you have done so, keep trailing your stop losses and book partial profits. All right. If your trailing stop losses are hit, just get out of your trades. Infra pack, I have no views so far. You have been able to see a very bad crack because some sort of connection is there between infra stocks and Adani Enterprises, especially in few of the cement stocks, which I would not like to speak about. But yes, there is one stock which is L&T. If you are having or holding any positional trades, especially in this particular stock, be very, very careful and trail your stop losses. And in case if your trailing stop losses are hit, get out immediately. Get out immediately. As simple as that. All right. Mid caps. Mid caps, I would say that in the weekly time frame chart, the trend is completely flat. You can see just up and down movement, wide swings are happening. And in the daily chart, you can see the trend is down. Since we have a pretty big wick over here and already we have seen a pretty sharp bounce back even the last time when we touched this level. So there is a possibility as far as this level is holding of 29,800, we can see a decent bounce back on the upside. But how long that bounce back will sustain is a very big question. All right. So again, saying the market, no matter that it has fallen very sharply in the last 2 days, it is not the case that all the sectors are going down all the stocks are going down. No, it's not the case. There are still a few sectors which are trying to pull the market higher. And I think as a trader, it is still the time where you will need and continue to keep your trading portfolio long short. All right. And continue to, at least in derivatives trades, in swing trades, continue to trade less, deploy less position sizing, and be very, very careful, especially when that budget event is coming up, at least 1 or 2 days around that budget event. All right. So I hope this video has helped you to understand how markets and its stocks will move in the next few days. Trade well, trade wisely. Thank you.